Whew. What is going on, dudes? Oh, man. Oh. Ooh, it's nice to relax. Oh. I'm starting to dig this game now that I found a build that I really enjoy. I'm really fucking picky, and this game kind of pisses me off because it's like co-op features are shit. The online is laggy. Uh, you know, not the greatest. But anyway, but after fucking with the game for several years now, finally found a build that I can dig. And I think this is it, man. I know I'm always saying that, but it's true. This is basically the gist of the build. And, you know, it gets slightly better over time. Damn, I need to order, like, new analogs from Xbox. This is where they fuck you. The analogs don't last forever. They start to wear down in, like, a year of on and off play. If that's, like, the main controller you use. Yeah, analogs will wear down, kind of. So that sucks. You feel a little too smooth and slip out from under your thumbs a little bit. It's kind of annoying. And what sucks is I got a lot of cosmetic controllers, so if I want analog replacements that are the right color, I have to go through these fuckers at Xbox who are charging an arm and a leg for everything now. Yeah, did y'all hear about that shit? The Game Pass price? $30 a month. Damn, right? Yeesh. Even like a lot of Xbox fanboys are like, nah, that's too much. You're fucking pushing it, motherfucker. So yeah, first Disney with Jimmy Kimmel, right? And now Xbox Game Pass. I think it just needs to be said that a lot of these subscription services suck dick now, and they don't offer much content that's worth checking out, and the prices are getting a little too ridiculous. Man, this guitar is amazing. Oh my god. I got some amazing ass shit, dude. I also ordered a Zephyr pickup, yo. Zephyr Seymour Duncan. Yeah, they sell Stratocaster pickups made with silver wire. Really expensive, fancy shit. And I always wanted it, but it's a lot of fucking money to drop. It's $1,000 for the full set, basically. That's fucked. But guess what? I'm an asshole and I decided to buy at least one, so I got the neck pickup. Because, you know, who gives a shit about the middle? No one ever uses it. And who gives a shit about the bridge in terms of tone? Because that's where the gritty rock sounds come from, really. You don't really give a shit. But clean tones in the neck pickup position, that's where you truly hear what a pickup has to offer, you know, if you want to get into the nitty gritty. As long as you got good pickups, who gives a shit? But if you really want to, like, be a picky asshole and have the best of the best, the weird shit, the rare shit, you know, then you act like I do. And you try weird shit like what I'm about to do. And the thing is, I got a black Stratocaster that's like a Frankenstrat, and it's got a Sinner in the bridge. Amazing. It's the closest to a humbucker that you can get with a single coil, basically. It's really nice. The center kicks ass in the bridge. And then in the middle, I got a Starwood Stratocaster TV Jones pickup, which is fucking amazing. It's a really good gun. It's based on the Dynasonic pickups that Gretsch has. So, yeah, you get a nice sound. The pole pieces are big, fat, chunky pole pieces. It's pretty, like, you won't notice it at first, but you look hard enough and you're like, oh, look at that shit. So that's cool. But in the neck position, unfortunately, I got a Seymour Duncan 98 SL2, whatever that means. It's like a surf rock kind of pickup, and I thought it would be good. I hate it. It doesn't go good with the guitar. The neck position on the switch and then the second position are terrible. I hate it. And then there's the middle, which sounds great, and then the fourth position and bridge position, which also sound kick-ass. So obviously the problem is that this pickup is old and not that good, or just doesn't gel with the other pickups for shit, because the other pickups are like brand new, cutting-edge pickups, and this thing's an old piece of crap that might be broken. So this pickup fucking sucks, and it's making the guitar not as good as it could be. So I decided, fuck it. Let's get one of these Zephyrs. So yeah, it cost me $300 fucking dollars, dude. Jesus Christ. Never doing that again. That's the most I'll ever spend on a pickup. This is who I am. I'm an asshole who has to have the fancy, rare, weird, unique thing, you know. I gotta pay a little extra than the average Joe for this crap. But I make good money, so whatever. And I don't have a wife and kid or whatever. Yeah. So I get to fuck off and do what I want, kind of. Freedom. So yeah, this guitar is gonna be fucking, well, I hope it's sick. I don't know what I'm doing. What if this was a waste of money? What if this was a stupid fucking idea? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But I might create one of the coolest fucking guitars ever. I have done that a few times. And it's not because I'm a genius. It's not because, you know, like, oh, he had good ideas. No, it's because you try shit and maybe that didn't work, or maybe that didn't work, or maybe that didn't work, or maybe that didn't work, and then, oh, look at that. We found something. I like that. That's fun. That's basically how it works. So, it's like writing, you know? Like if you're a writer, write shit. Ah, that sucks, bad idea. This stinks. Now, what was I thinking? I'm a fucking moron, blah, 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 blah. Eventually you come up with something that's maybe not a terrible idea. Maybe it's actually pretty good. Effort, work, talent, you know, skill has to be put in. And you come up with stuff. And you never really know what it's going to be like, but that's how creativity works and all that jazz. Well, anyway, guys, so what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the opposite of creativity. Corporatism. Fucking Xbox, dude. What the fuck? All the companies suck now. All the big three, not Sega, what am I saying? Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. Now, in my opinion, and many might disagree, but most I think will agree, is that Sony was the single-player RPG story-driven experience game for all ages, primarily like teens and adults, kind of, you know. It wasn't Nintendo, which is more of the kid-friendly game. You got the colorful games, the little party games, you know. You got less rated R content on this thing. Yeah. Typically, nowadays anyway. I know back in the day Nintendo had some wacky games, you know, but that's different. I'm talking about kind of like right now. So, and then there's Xbox, and if you ask me, Xbox was the like party multiplayer game, you know, like shooters are best on it, you know, online games are best on it. So, that's how I felt about these three consoles over the past, these three corporations over the past decade or so, is that those were the niches that they filled, you know? So if you really liked Final Fantasy, you'd probably be a Sony guy, you know? If you really liked Mario and Zelda, of course, you a platformer, you know, you're going to be a Nintendo person. And then, of course, if you like action games, shooters, and stuff, then Xbox, basically. And that's kind of the gist of it. Yeah, there's overlap and exceptions and all that jazz, but that's basically how it was, if you ask me. And, yeah, they all had their place, you know. These, I mean, come on, you gotta give it up. You gotta give it up. Let's talk original Nintendo. The original Zelda, the Mario games, you know, Super Nintendo, yep, they stepped it up. Jesus, you know. Fucking N64, that was a pretty wild advancement in gaming. Fucking GameCube, Xbox, PS1, PS2, you know, all this stuff was really revolutionary and creating a lot of new, interesting things in gaming. The kind of stuff that you don't see much anymore in mainstream AAA gaming. You kind of just see rehashed Call of Duty clone modded versions of the same fucking game you've been playing, basically. You get trash. You get fucked by the AAA studios now. They're all doing like a really bad job, pretty much. Yeah, so that sucks. Innovation isn't there. You're not playing these new games going, wow, that's really cool. You can do that. Oh, look at that. I never thought of that. Wow. I couldn't even fathom gaming being quite like this. You don't get vibes like that anymore, you know? But you do actually kind of from indie games. Those can kind of blow your mind sometimes. So at least there's a future in gaming there. But the AAA scene, Jesus Christ. Not really. That's gone to shit. But anyway, I wanted to sum up by saying that fucking Sony just put out their PS5 Pro, right? It's fucking bullshit overpriced. It's like $800 to $1,000. Because, you know, tariffs, shipping tax, they're kind of rare. Getting a good deal on one is kind of hard, so you're probably going to get fucked a little bit. And then you got to buy the stand, and you got to buy this fucking disc reader that's all separately and shit. Maybe get an extra controller and a handful of games. Yeah, this is well over $1,000 fucking dollars, dude. So that sucks. PS5 blows. What the hell? And the upgrade to your visuals is shit, really. There's hardly an upgrade. Apparently, the upgrade is barely noticeable if you have one of the newer type of OLED TVs. Yeah, then your PS5 games will look slightly better than regular PS5 games on the Pro. So the Pro is really not worth getting, and oh my god, I feel like such a jackass. When PS5 first came out, I of course did the logical thing by going, yeah, it's probably not going to be that great at first, and it's probably going to be overpriced, and I'm worried about like disc tray reading error crap that might happen, because, you know, there's a history of that with these consoles. So I'm just going to wait and see, and then get a discounted one that's pretty cheap, and you know, maybe I'll crack at that point and get a bundled deal on some games. And yeah, maybe it'll be worth it then. And even if it ain't, I didn't pay top dollar, so I didn't get completely fucked, right? So that's the mindset, of course. Intelligent mindset to go in. But I did say to myself, I'm not going to get a PS5 at launch, of course. That would be dumb. But, you know, maybe in a year or two, it'll be worth getting. That's what I said to myself. 4 or 5 fucking years later, I still don't have a PS5. Because I haven't really felt the need to get one. Like, yeah. And I got a decent PC. A lot of games that are on PS5 are on PC. Like, for example, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, you know. That's a decent game. I wanted to play it at launch, but I didn't want to have to get a fucking PS5. Are you kidding me? So I waited for the PC version, and that's good enough for me. And I'm not the biggest fan of this game. It's just kind of a nostalgia thing, and music's nice. It's a funny game. It's not terrible, but I'm not like shitting my pants and pissing myself in anticipation to play it all the time. I'm slowly getting through it. I haven't played it in a while. So it's not that big of a deal to me, but, you know. If a lot of Sony games are going to just come out on PC, then I'll just wait. I got a backlog that's huge, and I'm a busy guy. I work all the fucking time. So I can't just, like, be impulsive and I gotta do this. I spend this money now. I spend this money now. No, that's how you waste a lot of money. I've been like that in the past, like a dumbass. You gotta knock that shit off. At some point, you gotta look around and be like, oh, I got exactly what I wanted. And, what am I doing? Wasting your time. That can happen where you're shopping more for gaming stuff than you are actually playing video games. Like, what's wrong with you? Capitalism has destroyed you. Capitalism has a way of making you feel like you have to be buying things all the time to protect your life or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of a weird vibe, but it's true. Shopping is survival. In a way, and not like super literally, but you know what I mean. Anyway, what am I talking about? Right. So Sony launched that PS5 Pro. That's a fucking bullshit move right there. So that's pretty hard to forgive. And then Nintendo recently, they just went crazy. The Switch 2 launch, they rused a lot of motherfuckers with that one. And turned out to be not much of an upgrade over the Switch 1. And it has all these weird new rules and restrictions. And they're doing a bunch of overpricing with the games. And yikes. Not very good sign. So the Switch 2 is a bit of a joke. And there's not a good must-have exclusive on it. The best one is probably Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Kart World. Those two. And from what I'm hearing is they're good but not great. They're like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Not 9 or near perfect. You know what I mean? So that's a little disappointing because the Switch launched with Breath of the Wild, which is, fucking an amazing game. Really good, honestly. So good that, I was really happy to see that happen, where a console launches and it comes with a launch title game that is just fucking kick-ass. It's really good. Like, they fucking nailed it here. Came up with something really good for us. Like, that's awesome that Nintendo did that. And that's the same company that is fucking up Royal right now. Like, Metroid Prime 4, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's going to be that good. I don't know if I should give a shit anymore. Did Nintendo just die when I wasn't looking? Is Dread the actual last good Metroid game? That might be the case. Which is hilarious, because Dread was like a fan project rumor thing for a long time, and then it finally came to light. And it's a really good game. Metroid Dread is one of the best side-scroller Metroid games ever made. It's in the top 5 for sure. It's really good. But yeah, Nintendo did some really good shit, and I think they're still capable of it. Maybe, but what they're doing with their prices and the Switch 2 stuff, oh my goodness. So yeah, Metroid Prime 4 might be my last Nintendo game that I ever get, because I am not really that hyped. And I might even just call it quits before that, because I got Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, and I haven't finished 2. I beat 1, and I haven't even played part 3. And there's going to be a part 4? Oh, fuck. I don't know, man. And none of them are really as good as Metroid Prime 1. Apparently that one's the GOAT. It's the best of these first-person shooter Metroid games. So maybe I'll just stick to that, Because, yeah, I'm not liking Echoes as much. It's really weird. I like it, but it's weird. And I have to find, like, these invisible targets. And yeah, I kind of don't like that about the Prime games. You had to do that in the first game, where you basically explored everything and have access to all the gear, but you have to find, like, these hidden things. And it's kind of a pain in the ass to track it all down, actually, and do it, to be perfectly honest. Kind of felt like I had to use guides a little bit. I didn't, but, Or maybe I did for like 1 or 2 parts. I can't remember. But yeah, Yeah, Metroid Prime. I can't remember if I stumbled upon it on accident or if I looked up a guide, but you had to go to like this ice tower and shoot out this window to cause a thing to happen. It was fucking really kind of tedious. It felt like finding Ganon's lair in the original Zelda. Like who the fucking thought would put a bomb right here and that would be the way. Or finding that town in what do you call it? God damn it. Adventures of Link. There's a town hidden in a forest, and you have to use a hammer on a patch of the forest to reveal the town, and then you can go into the town. Hammer, tree, knocked down, town hidden in it. Yeah, you heard what I just said. That's fucking asinine weird shit. Who the fuck's gonna figure that out? You just kind of have to stumble upon it. You literally can't beat the game unless you find this weird lucky shit. Like, what the fuck is that? But whatever, man. It's just a game. But still, it's kind of cryptic, you know what I mean? But yeah, Switch 2, not doing too good. Nintendo's being really greedy and weird. Ugh, bad. And then you got Xbox. They just raised the price of Game Pass and they laughed it off and seemed to not give a shit about all the complaining. And then, like, the site crashed for people ending their subscriptions and stuff like that. So, yeah, not good. And all the futures of all these consoles, all these franchises don't look very bright. They're not showing us very cool looking new cutting edge games. Uh, whew, it's pretty bad. We're not really advancing that much, and the world is on fire, man. We got a lot of climate change issues, war issues, genocide issues. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I think we're in for some rough times, unfortunately, or at least for a lot of us, slightly worse times. Some of us are rich and have cushy enough jobs, and lives. And I'm kind of like middle class, so, you know, when the poor start really feeling it, then I'll shortly start feeling it after. Then that's when I'm fucked. And then the rich, of course, they get away with everything. But maybe not. Maybe someone will gun them down. Yeah. That's what happens to rich people. They don't suffer and die like the rest of us middle class or lower class people. Nah, the rich, they live to a ripe old age and then they die. Or someone guns them down because they deserve it, because they're rich assholes who are oppressing all of us. Yep. George Carlin is absolutely right. Get the lower class and the middle class to fight each other all the time so that the higher class can run off with all the fucking money. That's basically capitalism. But yeah, being middle class like me sucks because, like, I have it made compared to, kids being bombed, kids in slave mines, right? But I don't have it made at all, and I'm suffering compared to billionaires, dictators, politicians who have the best of everything in the world. Fuckers can really do whatever they want, unless of course you gun them down, right? Like I said, assassinations. It's a thing that nobody's invulnerable to. Not really. You show your ass at some point, it's gonna get shot, depending on who you are. And if you truly deserve it, you're probably gonna get shot. What I always think is funny is people who freak out if, like, a president is almost assassinated or is assassinated. Like, who could do this? Why? How could you? It's like, because, he's an evil, super powered leader who's murdering innocent people and launching military campaigns into countries, and it's definitely fucking slaughtering little children. This person's fucking evil, you fucking idiot. Kissing that evil ass. Swear to God. That is fucking annoying, man. I hate people who simp for straight up, like, evil sons of bitches, man. Jesus Christ. Like, it means you're an evil son of a bitch, you know? Because I'm not buying that shit that you're just too fucking stupid to know which side to be on or whatever. Like, no, you're a dumbass, but your dumbass has been around for years. Impossible that you didn't pick up on good or evil, wrong and right, to a fucking degree. So, you're doing this shit on purpose. You're a fucking piece of shit, you know? Excusing evil is aligning with evil. It really is. Like, if I see a bunch of guys raping a girl, if I don't intervene and stop these assholes, or at least attempt to in some sort of manner, I'm a fucking piece of shit. Okay? It's just that simple. That's what I'm fucking talking about here. Anyway, I'm tired. Man, what is it, 2? Man, I should go to bed soon, but I wanted to show my Zephyr pickups. Oh my God. Yeah, I can't believe I got these. What a jackass I am. They better sound good. They better be worth it, or else I'm going to be kind of pissed. Or maybe I'll just sell them one day, but there it is. Look at that shit. Pretty cool, huh? Like I said, I only have one. Ooh, look at the lock on it. That's cool. The box. And it has this metal plate on it. That is so cool. Yep, Zephyr. I always wanted one. I always thought it was kind of a cool idea. All silver. I like the name. I like the look. It's supposed to sound really good. It's basically emulating a 50s Stratocaster pickup to a slightly hotter, faster kind of sound, and just a better version of that, essentially. It's not that special. It's just... it's special. But not special in a way that's worth this money. I'm just an asshole who wastes money on shit sometimes. But like I said, I make good enough money, so it's not gonna kill me. What I'm trying to say is, if you don't make good money like me, then don't fucking waste money like an idiot like me. Hey, at least I'm not stupid enough to waste money on microtransactions and dumbass subscriptions. Can you imagine if I still had Xbox Live and Game Pass ever since what? When did I quit that shit? 2016, 17 almost? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's when I stopped paying for Xbox Live, yeah. Because they were shutting down the Reach servers at some point, and there were hardly any people left playing online in my favorite Warzone game mode. I was tired of fighting the same 5 Mexicans and 3 no-life nerds who hate my guts and stalk me. Yeah. So, it was dead, basically, at that point. But hey, Halo Reach had already been like 7 or 8 years old at that point. Kind of makes sense that hardly anyone's playing. Especially when I was the one dominating that one not too popular playlist, So, all great things must come to an end. Nothing lasts forever. But hey, I recorded like 2,000 videos, so I got endless amounts of hilarious clips. So even though we can't play Halo Reach like we used to in the good old days, we still have our memories. And you can still play Firefight and Campaign. That game's great. I'm gonna play it again at some point. Get back into it, I think. Fuck yeah, Reach is the best Halo game. Or maybe it's Halo 3. Or maybe it's even Halo 1 or Halo 2 or ODST. One of the Bungie Halos. They're all good. But I do think... it's really hard to say, because they're very special, all of them, honestly. They really are. Think about it. Halo 1, God, that one's the most groundbreaking of them all, really. When that thing came along, it changed the way we play shooters, Like the 2 weapons only that you can carry, The 3D environments to be jumping around in, advanced physics. Yeah, dude. Like, That was the shit, man. Halo Combat Evolved. Perfect game to run through split screen campaign with a friend. You both just magnuming it up on heroic, maybe. No, legendary. Legendary is what you wanted to play on Halo 1. Yeah, heroic is what you wanted to play on the other Halo games, because if you played legendary in Halo 2, Jackal snipers would one-shot you every time, and it was fucking tedious, and that's stupid. Doesn't even give you a chance. You gotta memorize where they all are and pop out and kill them first. And come on, dude. This is Call of Duty shit. That's what sucks about Call of Duty. When you play Call of Duty on the hardest difficulty, you're just dropping down dead all the time, and it's like such a risk to run for cover every fucking second. Yeah, it's so tedious, dude. You're just hoping to get from checkpoint to checkpoint like a little bitch. And the enemies, when they shoot you to death, they don't even have an animation where it really looks like they got you, correctly. Like they're running around, and it's annoying. What's nice about Halo is the enemies, when they try to attack you, they have a certain animation, and it looks right, it feels right. It feels like this thing is trying to kill me, But in Call of Duty, the enemy NPCs, they kind of just seem like crash dummies moving around in unnatural mannerisms, and that's so stupid. I hate that. Rainbow Six has that problem too, where the enemies look like they're shooting you before they actually aim their guns at you and stuff. Yeah, but anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, Halo 1, it did like close to a dozen groundbreaking things for shooters that we all appreciate in newer shooters these days. And then there's Halo 2 that changed shooters big time, because that popularized, and for the first time we had a console shooter that was online that was really good, that a lot of people were into. It did have some glitchy shit and cheaters hacking in, fucking things up, unfortunately, but then here comes Halo 3, which is basically Halo 2 but perfected to a much... Nothing's perfect, but it was better in pretty much every way. And yeah, that was great. Halo 3 was the GOAT. That was the most... And I believe this for a fact. I believe it was the most skillful and challenging and competitive, impressive to watch competitive shooting video game ever made. I think it's the best one of those. Or at least it's up there for sure. So Halo 3 is like the GOAT. And then there's ODST, which is the same game, but co-op, firefight, resist, survival mode type version of the game. And it's also great. It's the same exact engine, but, kind of a different vibe and take, but it's still a really good fucking game. And then you got Reach, which is very different from the other Halos. They added Bloom and Sprint and unlockable goodies, and they were kind of Call of Dutying it up, unfortunately, which was bad. That was a bad sign. That meant Halo was turning into shit, unfortunately. But luckily they didn't do it that much in Halo Reach, and you could turn off and control a lot of these settings, and there were limitations. It's not like you had default sprint. No, it was an armor ability, so you had to decide, do I want sprint or do I want armor lock? Armor lock is probably better, so you know what I mean? It wasn't as bad. And then here comes Halo 4, not made by Bungie, made by 343, and they fucking... Halo 4 really feels like Call of Duty, Oh my god. And then Halo 5, oh no, that's the worst. When Halo 5 showed up, good god, that was terrible. Aim down sights. Oh, for the first time in Halo, we're aiming down the barrel of our gun as if we're resting our chin on the very back butt end of the rifle and staring right down. I hate how Call of Duty does aim down sights. It's fucking stupid. Any game, really. The aim down sights thing is so dumb, dude. Halo had it right. You just jam down R3 and then your character zooms in through some scope that instantly locks onto the target. It's fast, it feels good, and there was a great competitive balance to it, because if you got hit, if you took damage, you would zoom out. So it was a real trick to get good with your thumb, to be able to zoom in on your target after getting hit and zooming out, but being able to zoom back in real fucking quick and keep shooting that motherfucker faster and better than he's shooting you. This is a very skillful, kind of precision battle. And it felt really good winning those. You really felt skilled and overpowered, like you deserved to win that fight, That was a great feeling. And Halo 3 offered it in spades. And then there's like I said, Reach had some Call of Duty aspects to it, unfortunately, which kind of sucked. But the game was still pretty awesome, especially that Warzone playlist. I was addicted to that. I thought it was really good. Because Bloom didn't really matter in that mode. And the game kind of felt like it was designed to be played in a Spartans versus Elite kind of mannerism. Like, it really felt like the Covenant weapons were designed to be really good against Spartans, and the Spartan weapons designed to be really good against the Elites. Like, it felt that way. And then the Elites, sometimes they'd get Spartan weapons and they could become really powerful, And then sometimes the Spartans would get Elite stuff and they'd be really powerful. Yeah, I remember that. For example, an Elite rolling around with a fucking sniper rifle or a rocket launcher is very scary. Or what if he has invis? Jesus fucking Christ. You'll never see him. He'll be a cheap little bitch hiding on the sidelines of the map, getting easy kills because nobody knows where the fuck he is. And if anyone gets close, he'll switch to his rocket launcher and kill you. So you really can't beat this kind of guy. You got to get pretty lucky. So there's a good example right there. But same thing with the Spartans. What if a Spartan gets an FRG and he has armor lock? Never engage with that motherfucker in close quarters. You will lose every time, A fucking noob could be doing that and you'd lose to him because it's that easy for him to just destroy you. I mean, this is what's going to happen every time. You confront him, you start hitting him first, you're about to win the fight, he goes into armor lock. You're reloading or you're pausing or you're waiting for him to come out, but he controls this now. So he comes out when he wants. Surprise, FRG to your face, you're one-shotted, you're dead. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is he never even had to go into armor lock and he kills you on sight. FRG can do that at close and mid-range. Sometimes long if you suck and you're not moving correctly. So yeah, don't do that. But anyway, it was a great mode. But despite not being the most skillful, but like strategically thinking, a lot of thinking went into how you would go about a lot of things, and yeah, it was really fun, really cool. I dug it for the most part. The servers sucked. Whoever got host, man, that was great. But if you were a guest and the host was someone out of the country, oh god, laggy, bad game, dude. And sometimes the lag was so bad that like you knew you were better than the guy you were fighting, but you knew that since he was host, you would lose every time. I fucking hated that feeling. That fucking sucked. But yeah, that would happen every like 5 games, 10 games, once in a while, man. Fucking sucks. What I love is when one of these assholes has host, but I'm kicking their ass so badly that they rage quit, and then the host migrates to me, and now I am doing even better now. That annoying player who's fucking up the connection is gone, and now I can beat the shit out of the rest of the players with a really good connection. So, some easy come, easy go, you know what I mean? Anyway, guys, that's not the only thing I bought. It's my brother's birthday coming up in a few days. I fucking forgot when it is. 14th, 16th, 18th, when? I can't fucking ever remember for some dumb reason. I suck. But I'm pretty sure it's the 18th. Anyway, I got him a guitar because it was $1,000 off, and it's brand new, and it's a pretty sick model. Like it's think Chet Atkins and think George Harrison, Tennessee Rose, if their two guitars kind of merged, had a baby, or whatever you want to call it, and pumped out a modernized version of that. Think of it that way. Those two guitars mixed together, Chet Atkins, George Harrison, they're Big Buddy Gretches, they're Tennessee Roses, both guitarists. Imagine their two guitars merging together, having a baby or whatever you want to call it, and out comes this guitar, which is what I'm getting. It's called the Electrotone Gretsch, what do you call it? Tennessee Rose. Yeah, it's a player's edition, so it has locking tuners and a few fancy appointments here and there. It's supposed to be really light, 7.5 pounds. That sounds interesting. A big guitar like that with a fucking Bigsby, that's a big heavy hunk of metal. And this motherfucker only weighs 7.5 pounds. It's as light as a 62 Strat. Son of a bitch. That's a good weight right there, 7.5. I like that. 8.5 is kind of my max. It's like, okay, we're kind of pushing it. 9, I think that's too much. Unless it's maybe a bass guitar, that makes sense. And, yeah. But even then, if we're pushing 9 and up, I don't want to deal with a heavy ass guitar like that for too long. Maybe every once in a while, but it's not going to be a go-to. Because heavy guitars kind of suck, you know. You're going to want to go with lighter shit for the most part. After a while, especially if you play a lot like I do, you're always fucking with this shit. You get a little tired after a while. Ooh, I need a drink. All right. But yeah, been working my ass off, busy as shit. But other than that, life is pretty good. Well, things are definitely getting worse in the country, though. Things are getting more expensive. That's not cool. But, you know, like I said, I'm middle class, so this shit doesn't affect me too much. But it's still terrible. These leaders are still awful. They need to be stopped. I mean, son of a bitch. Fucking... They bomb children. They fucking rape kids on private jets. These are the people who rule over us. This is what they do. This is what they like to get away with. Apparently they're the most powerful people in the world. They make the laws and rules and enforce everything to their will. Yeah. These are our corporate masters. So they're our leaders. We should look up to them, right? And this is what they do. Rape kids and murder kids. Rape kids and murder kids. That's what they're doing. It's the most disgusting and horrible thing ever. And it's sadistic. And I get it. I get it. You guys are mad with power and think you can do whatever you want. And so you just keep trying new things. What can I get away with? What can I get away with? What can I get away with? And you've gotten away with so many things. And it's to the point where you want to see if you can get away with raping kids and murdering kids. And you're doing it. That's fucked up. Yeah, our corporate masters have really fucked us over hard. Oh yeah, I saw Peacemaker. New episode of Peacemaker, not bad. That show's pretty decent, even though it sounds like the dumbest show ever, because it kind of is. But it's like stupid on purpose in a fun way, you know. But surprisingly, the show's pretty good. That's not that surprising. James Gunn's really good. It's just if you didn't know James Gunn was behind it and you just saw a preview, you'd be like, that looks retarded. Because you know it kind of is, honestly. Ooh, I hope my brother likes this Gretsch that we're getting. It's got fake painted on F-holes, dude. They're fake. I didn't know that. Simulated F-holes, it says. Apparently, that's how it's supposed to be. Chet Atkins and George Harrison, the guitars they originally played, they're Tennessee Roses. They're burgundy big body F-hole guitars. Yeah, F-holes be fake, motherfucker. Apparently, it's a thing on a few other models too, and other guitar brands, they paint on the F-holes. I'm kind of new to that, and at first my reaction was, that's fake, that's cheap, how dare they? But no, it's actually an aesthetics thing, and they choose to do it on certain models, and yeah, it has to do a lot with feedback. Apparently, sometimes feedback can get trapped in the air of the hollow body, you know, so if it's painted over and sealed completely, that doesn't really happen. So it helps deal with feedback issues. So that's cool. And apparently it's like really smooth, so like you can run your hand across the top of the guitar without snagging that F-hole hook, you know, or losing a pick in there or something like that. So it has its advantages, you know. So them being painted on honestly makes a lot of sense because it's smooth, you have less feedback, you know. It still looks cool, you know. It's kind of a trick on the eyes, which is fun. So, you know, I'm actually kind of coming around. I think it's kind of a fucking cool ass old school thing, you know? Because it is. I mean, Jesus Christ. Shea Stadium, fucking George Harrison. Going to town on that fucking guitar. It's one of the most memorable fucking things that's ever happened in rock and roll history, dude. That day literally popularized stadium rock. What the fuck? That's pretty huge.